Ever feel like you're standing at the edge of something huge? Like a massive change or a challenge?
Yeah.
And you're not sure if you have the guts to take the leap.
It's funny you should say leap.
Really?
Yeah, because today's deep dive,
Okay.
it really does start with a leap, a monumental transition.
Yeah, interesting.
The book of Joshua.
Right.
It's a story about leadership, faith, and resilience.
I mean, those are some pretty big themes.
Yeah, and packed with wisdom that's surprisingly relevant even thousands of years later.
Okay.
The Israelites,
Yeah.
after escaping slavery in Egypt,
Right.
they're finally ready to enter the Promised Land.
Huge moment for them.
But their legendary leader, Moses, has just passed away.
So they're on the verge of this incredible new chapter.
Yeah,
But they've lost the leader who guided them through everything.
exactly.
That must have been terrifying.
Absolutely. That's where Joshua enters the scene.
Okay.
He's chosen to take on this immense responsibility,
Right.
leading the Israelites into uncharted territory.
You know, that would make even the bravest person hesitate.
Absolutely. I think that's why I find the very first words that God speaks to Joshua so powerful.
What does he say?
Well, it's not like a detailed strategy or a
Uh,
complicated plan.
Right.
It's a simple, profound promise. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not fail you or forsake you.
I mean, those words, they're like a bedrock of reassurance.
Totally.
It's like that feeling of knowing you're not alone.
Yeah.
That even in the face of overwhelming challenges, there's a source of strength you can always tap into.
It is that sense of support,
Right.
whether it comes from a higher power or a strong community, or even that deep well of self-belief that we all have within us.
I like that.
It's about trusting that you have what it takes to move forward.
And it's not just about feeling supported. God also lays out some pretty clear expectations for Joshua, right?
Oh, you're absolutely right.
Like what?
Well, in the following verses, God tells Joshua to be strong and courageous
Okay.
and to be careful to obey all the law. You know, these instructions, they might seem simple,
Right.
but they speak to a crucial balance in leadership.
It's like this blend of inner strength and outward action, right?
Exactly.
You need that unwavering belief in yourself.
Yeah.
And a strong set of principles to guide your decisions.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
So how would you relate this whole obeying the law concept to modern leadership?
That's a great question. It's like having a code of ethics,
Oh,
like a set of values that informs your actions and decisions,
right.
especially when things get tough. It's about leading with integrity and staying true to your principles, even under pressure.
So in a way, that law for Joshua is like a compass,
Totally.
helping him navigate this uncharted territory of leadership.
Yeah.
It's about staying grounded in what truly matters.
Exactly. And this is where we see this fascinating connection to modern practices.
What do you mean?
Like mindfulness, God tells Joshua to meditate on the book of the law day and night, which back then meant studying and reflecting deeply on those principles.
So you're saying there's a link between that ancient practice and what we now consider mindfulness.
I think there is a powerful parallel there.
Interesting.
Today, we might journal or meditate,
Right.
or simply take time for quiet reflection to connect with our values and goals.
Yeah.
It's about creating that space to listen to our inner voice, that compass that guides us,
I like that.
you know?
Yeah. And speaking of inspiring messages, there's that incredible line where God says to Joshua, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go."
Oh, yeah. That verse, it just jumps off the page.
Right.
It's this incredible surge of encouragement,
Yeah.
like a reminder that, you know, fear and discouragement are inevitable,
Right.
but we all have the strength within us to overcome them.
It's like that feeling of, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
I might be scared,
Yeah.
but I'm not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got what it takes to face this challenge.
You got
It's like having your own personal hype squad cheering you on.
exactly. And that message, it's so powerful because it speaks to a universal human experience.
In what way?
Well, you know, whether you're leading an army into battle
Right.
or even starting a new job,
Okay.
that feeling of fear and uncertainty, it's something we all encounter.
Oh, totally. It's like that moment right before you step onto a stage to give a big presentation
Uh-huh.
or you hit publish on a project you've poured your heart into.
Right.
There's that flutter of nerves.
Yeah.
But also that exhilarating feeling of stepping outside your comfort zone.
And that's what Joshua 1 reminds us. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's that willingness to act despite it. It's that decision to move forward even when you're not sure what lies ahead.
I love that. So we've got this incredible promise of support,
Yeah.
a clear set of principles to guide us,
Right.
and this call to be courageous. It feels like Joshua 1. It's giving us a roadmap for navigating those big transitions in life,
Is.
those moments where we're called to step up and lead.
You're absolutely right. It's like the text is saying, look, change is inevitable. Challenges will come.
Mm-hmm.
But here's how you face them with strength and purpose.
Okay.
It's about embracing that journey
Right.
and trusting that you have the inner resources to succeed.
Okay, so let's break down this roadmap a bit further.
Here.
What are some practical takeaways from Joshua 1 that our listeners can apply to their own lives,
Sure.
whether they're leading a team at work or simply navigating a personal challenge?
Well, first and foremost, it's about recognizing and embracing the power of support.
Hmm.
You know, just like God promised to be with Joshua, we all have sources of strength we can draw on.
Yeah.
Our families, our friends, our mentors, even that inner voice of resilience we've cultivated over time.
It's about remembering that we're not alone in these moments,
Exactly.
that there are people and resources we can turn to for guidance and encouragement.
The next step is to clarify your law, so to speak.
Oh, interesting.
What are your non-negotiable principles? The values that guide your decisions and actions. Because when you're facing tough choices, having that clear moral compass can be incredibly grounding.
It's like defining your personal code of ethics.
Yeah,
Those principles that help you stay true to yourself even when things get complicated.
exactly. And finally, there's the call to courage.
Okay.
It's about acknowledging your fears,
Right.
but not letting them paralyze you. It's about taking that first step, even if it's small, and trusting that you'll find the strength to keep going.
It's like that saying, courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it.
I love that.
It's that willingness to push past the discomfort and step into the unknown.
And what's so beautiful about Joshua's story is that it reminds us that we all have that capacity for courage within us.
Right.
We might not be leading a nation into a new land,
Okay.
but we all have challenges to overcome,
Yeah.
goals to achieve,
Yeah.
and dreams to pursue.
It's about tapping into that inner strength.
Exactly.
That resilience that helps us face those challenges head on.
Yeah.
It's about remembering that even in the face of uncertainty, we have the power to choose courage. It strikes me that this idea of leading with courage, it's not just about, big dramatic actions.
Right.
It's also about those everyday choices we make.
Absolutely.
Those small acts of bravery that really shape our lives.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's about speaking up for what you believe in, even when it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's about setting boundaries that protect your well-being,
Mhm.
pursuing those passions that light you up, even if they scare you a little.
It's about choosing to live a life that's aligned with your values, even when it means, taking the road less traveled.
Exactly.
So if we were to distill all of this wisdom from Joshua 1 into a few key takeaways for our listeners,
Okay.
what would you say are the most important lessons we can glean from this ancient text?
I think it really boils down to this. Remember, you are not alone. Cultivate those sources of support that nourish and strengthen you. Define your guiding principles, that internal compass that helps you navigate life's complexities. And most importantly, choose courage. Even in the face of fear and uncertainty, those are the tools that empowered Joshua to lead the Israelites into the Promised Land. And they can empower you to create a life that's truly fulfilling.
It's like Joshua 1 is giving us this timeless blueprint for navigating change, embracing challenges, and leading with purpose, both in our own lives and in the world around us. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with this thought. What promised land are you striving for? What dreams or goals are calling you forward?
And what steps can you take today, even small ones, to move towards that vision with courage and conviction? Remember, just as God was with Joshua, you have the strength within you to overcome obstacles and create a life that's truly meaningful.